Okay, so yes, but I had to read the manga to truly understand this because, yeah, in the anime, she says, I love Takumi. But in the manga, we get to the real nitty gritty. It comes out that she was like, the real reason why she went with Takumi. She was sad that, Nobu didn't believe her, but it's like, girl, you wasn't explaining nothing. You didn't tell him nothing. He was begging. But it comes out that she said, I was so hurt that Nana was supposed to be there and she did not come see me. That she says she ends up going with Takumi back then, not for the baby, not for Nobu's sake, but because he was the nicest to her at the time. And she says, that's the way I am. I'm always just thinking about myself. My real fear is being alone. This is what I'll be talking about though. When I first restarted watching Nana, and it's in my playlist, the Nana playlist, I was saying, Nana K, like she's not the innocent little peach that people be making her out to be. She could be very selfish and manipulative, like all that stuff, but everybody looks at her as the victim because of how she looks in her aesthetic. But she knows that she's on the inside, she's not all that. And that's why she be feeling guilty when people be doing that, but she knows it. And people was trying to go back and forth, and I'm like, no, but she tells us the truth. But this, again, be going back to where I was just like, the Nana should have just got together because now Nobu getting hurt, okay? Now Takumi's involved and he's gross. Now, Nana over here having panic attacks. Y'all should have just been together. If y'all gonna be doing all this, right? She really mad because her girlfriend didn't come see her. That's what it was. Wasn't because of the baby. She wasn't even thinking about the best thing for the baby. She wasn't even thinking about the best thing for Nobu. Okay, she ain't feel bad for Nobu. She ain't even give him a response when he was begging for a response. She, okay, really was just hurt. Okay, she was heartbroken. But it's like at the same time, Nana O was heartbroken too. So she's just gonna go with whoever's the nicest person at the time. And this also goes back to what I was saying about Junko. Everybody was doing a little too much on June. Everybody was doing a little too much on June because Junko said the same thing. She was like, you don't love that boy. He probably just was the nicest one to you at the time. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's a terrible friend. But let's be real though. She came with a tough love though. Like she wouldn't say it at the best times. Like, yeah, Nana K should be upset. This, that, and third. And then Junko would just be spitting the facts. But let's be real. Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell the truth? Because Nana can't know the truth. Look, she know the truth. But Junko would just be telling her, like, she knows her. Like, she know her friend. She like, girl, you do not love him. He was just nice to you at that moment. That's what it is. And again, goes back to somebody commenting, I'm going to make a video on it, that they were like, nobody really talks about that older man that was Nana's first, okay? And who groomed her, that literally like shaped how she dealt with men ever after that. And I'm like, yes, we need to talk about that. And it's really sad. And I think it's also can talk about, and it explains how she deals with Takumi and when he essays her. Because she was dealing with this grown man who was married and she was in high school, taking her to hotels and motels and doing stuff with her in the back of the car. And she didn't even know this man like that. That was her first, and she felt like she loved him. That does something to a young girl. We need to talk. I'm telling y'all, it's be layers to this stuff. But yeah, all in all, Nana K didn't go with Takumi for the baby and all that good stuff. I think that just came with it. You get me? That came with it, where she was like, okay, I guess this ain't as bad as this. It's not as bad as it cracked up to be. Okay, you know what? You're right. I could do this. But it really wasn't for that in the beginning. She wasn't always thinking about her baby when she made this decision. She was hurt. And she acted off emotion. And she went with the person who was just being nicest to her in the moment. And I'm just like, that says a lot. You feel me? That says a lot. But it's selfish too. Because it's like she's not thinking about anybody else's feelings other than her own in that moment. Like, it's always going to hurt me the fact that Nobu was begging for her to just explain. Because to him on the outside, it looked like she was just two-timing. And then mind you, right after find out that they going to get married. Like, but in the same night find out that she's pregnant. In the same night find out that she was even dealing with him. In the same night find out that he's at her apartment. Like, what is going on? And mind you, she didn't see him for like what? It was a few days, maybe a week, and she didn't see Nobu. Like that, she wasn't thinking about that man's feelings at all, honey. She could care less. Okay? No, I think she cared, but she didn't care enough. She cared more about Nana and where she was at. Okay? But it's like at the same time, it's funny because Nana O, she didn't react like a best friend would have reacted. She reacted like how Nobu probably should have reacted. You feel me? She ran away. She was like, "Oh my god, like what the hell's going on?" Remember when Nobu called her up the next day and was like, "Why are you not at work? That should be me. What? I'm the one going through it." No, Nana O, she was going through it too because she loved this girl, right? So again, child, a whole lot of. Yeah, I just wanted more justice for Sheen. Sheen is like the perfect example of what can happen to a child in the music industry, even in the entertainment industry in general. And it's sad because he was looking for love in all the wrong places, right? Like, he's the perfect example of like a young boy being like essayed at a young age or groomed at a young age, and like the aftermath of that. If you ask men about like their first time, a lot of them are going to say it was at a very young age. Like you'll be surprised. Some boys say, or some guys say like, oh, it was 10 years old, 11 years old. Sadly, some even younger, right? And a lot of the times it was with somebody older than them. Most of the times it's like with an older woman, you know, or a teenage girl or something like that. And because society is like, oh, that's good, bro, you got an older girl, bro, da-da-da, it's not looked at as SA or as grooming or molestation or anything like that. And then a lot of guys think that, oh yeah, but I'm not affected by it though. Even if they realize like, oh, what that was years later, they're like, oh yeah, I'm not affected by it though. It's like, but you're hypersexual. You be wanting to do it all the time. That's always what's on your brain. Or you feel me? Like you got some other stuff going on. Or they might be struggling with their sexuality, this, that, and third. You know, like it's a lot of different things, right? That's not just the two. But I say those two because, like, look at Sheen. Like, he make everything about sex. Like, really think about it. Like, really read my Nana and listen to the stuff that Sheen says. Everything that come out of Sheen's mouth, it has to be about that. But then on the other side, it's like he's trying to figure out, like, what love is, what it means. Like I said, he's looking for love in all the wrong places, right? Even with him, you know, selling his body to all these older women, right? Again, but then calling Hachi like his mom. He has mommy issues. Right? Like with his family, like what? Abandoning him, all that kind of stuff. I'm still in the manga. I don't know if they go further into that, but it's still kind of like a mystery where I'm at. But it sounds like he got mommy issues. Okay, that's why he looks at Hachi as a mom. Like, oh, I wish, you know, you were my mom. Like, oh, I don't really find a reason for my existence and this, that, and the third. And then having all these older women to snuggle up under, okay, and do all this stuff with. And he probably feels the most loved when he's under a woman. And so then even having Rayra, okay, it's like he's trying to figure out what that means for him. And like what love is by being with these older women. And I'm like, little does he know he messing himself up. And it's just sad because it's like no justice for him in the sense of like, yeah, they scolded him when they found out that he was selling his body and things like that. But it still was kind of looked at as like, what, Sheen, you're doing that? Like, what? Instead of like, okay, this is a problem. And we shouldn't be allowing him to do this. Or at least we need to threaten. You need to threaten him when you can't be on the band if you're doing this. Simple. Like, you get me if you really cared. But that shows, like, people don't really care. They're like, well, that's not my son. Or, like, you know, hey, that's his life. Let him do what he wants. Or even with him smoking or drinking or anything like that. They know he's not 18. Everybody else, you know, they didn't know. I mean, everybody else, like, they lied to, right? But Blast knows, okay? But then even later on, Rayra knows, Takumi knows, and the rhetoric around it is more of like when Takumi told him, oh, you need to stop and you need to wait until you're at least 18 or you might ruin Rayra's career. Rather than being like, Rayra, what the hell are you doing messing with this little boy? You see what I'm saying? No justice for Sheen at all. And I'm like, I feel like, yeah, because there is that double standard. Because if Sheen was a girl and Rayra was a guy, then maybe. But even in the music industry, that don't be mattering either, which is sad. But again, showing a lot of lying, you know, like there's a lot of lying going around and a lot of people knowing what the lie is and that it's a lie, but just the fact that you put it on paper. Like, for example, with Masato becoming like their assistant, that's where I'm at in the manga right now. Masato becoming their assistant, changing her look, changing her hair, saying that she's 20 when she's really 17. And it being like a known thing, but as long as you say it, right, then okay, we'll let it slide. And especially with Masato doing that, and with it also being like I'll say a corn industry, okay? Like, and that's the guy that she's working for. And yes, she's supposed to be a assistant over here with Blast, but it's like, that's just too close for comfort. That could be a thin line. Or even like thinking about even the time like with Sheen, the time like Ren is kissing on Sheen and like they're like, you know, being playful, but I'm like, it don't matter. Like, he's a little boy. What are you doing putting your lips on him? Like, what's going on? Like I said, just more justice. But I feel like even though it's sad and it's like, damn, this is not okay, and they're showing it from like, you know, a boy's perspective, this happens all the time in like the real world. Okay, look at what's going on right now in the music industry. Okay, so it's just like, I feel like it is an accurate representation of what can happen to young girls, young boys in the industry. Yeah, it's a whole lot of going on. I feel like because Sheen is a child, he's a child. You know, his frontal lobe is not even developed all the way. Like, you get me? He's going to be influenced to do stuff. He's going to take stuff into his own hands and think that he's doing the right thing, and really, you know, I think he's going to realize it later. So really, you got to put the blame on all the adults surrounding him. That's who you really have to blame at that point, because at the end of the day, it's a child. He's a child. What I mean, you know. So I just wanted more justice for Sheen. I love Sheen. I mean, but I'm like, damn, this is not okay. I love Junko. I will always love Junko. They will never make me hate her. She's a great character. Like, and she's a solid friend. And the thing is, she gave Nana K the tough love that she needed. Because who else was going to tell her? People around Nana K be thinking it, but they don't be telling her. You got to think about the type of person that Nana K is. It cannot be easy being her friend, or even just being around her for too long. Like, let's really think about that. Nana K is irresponsible. She's immature. She's manipulative. Like, she's selfish. And again, because of her aesthetic, and I've made videos about this earlier in my playlist, but because of her aesthetic, people think she's innocent, she's ditzy, a little airhead, and she needs to be protected. That's why Shoji got hurt, because that's all he can see her as, is like, oh, she's so innocent. She even was like, I am not that innocent. If you knew who I was and how I am for real, you probably wouldn't even want to be around me, honey. But Junes knows this, and she sees this, and instead of just dropping her cold turkey and like being like, girl, F that girl, I'm not trying to deal with her, instead she gives her advice. And let's be real, if you've ever been that advice friend, which I know I have, okay, I've always been the advice friend for so many people in my life, it is draining. Even if you love the person and you really want to help them, giving advice all the time, it can drain you. And it's especially draining when the person doesn't really take the advice and they go and do the thing anyway. But, you know, people, they're adults, or they're their own humans. So even if they're kids, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. So, you know, to keep on giving that advice, it's like you love them, so you're going to keep doing it. But she scolds her too, because it's like, it's not like her mama is around to do it. And honestly, quite frankly, if you've been reading the manga and even watching the anime, her family be tired of her too. Her mom be like, okay, go ahead, go get married, go on, and don't come back. So now you got June kind of like stuck in this role of like mothering her, in the sense of like, you know, giving her the right advice, trying to steer her the right direction. And then Nana comes back with something else crazy, something else to top that. But you can see that she really cares about Nana K. I just don't like, the one thing I didn't like that she did was in the moment, okay, where, you know, Nana K is crying over Shoji cheating, this, that, and the third. June was trying to get Nana to see from also Shoji's point of view, because let's be real, I made a video about this too earlier in my playlist. I said Nana K had a part to play with Shoji cheating. Was it okay that he did that? Of course not. He was wrong for cheating. Of course, he should have broke up with her first, if anything, right? But Nana K also had a part to play in the turmoil of their relationship. Period, point blank. And that's what June was trying to show her, but it just wasn't the right moment to do that. I feel like she should have let her heal a little bit more, and then they could have probably had that conversation. But I understand why she did it, in the sense of that Nana K's whole thing is always trying to be the victim, okay? Always trying to be the, oh, what was me, this, that, and the third, when she's not always that. In this moment where she got cheated on, that was the perfect moment for her to be like, oh, everything's just on him. Oh, what was me, da-da-da. Even though she did get cheated on, and I know that hurt, right? But what June was trying to show was that, okay, you did have a part to play in this as well. Because let's be real. in the midst of everything, right? I mean, I already did a whole video on this, so I don't really want to get all back into it. But again, look at my earlier videos in the Nana playlist. I talk about how with Nana K, she emotionally cheated on Shoji with Nana O, okay? And like how that's the thing with Nana K. First of all, she shouldn't have even been out there in the first place. Let's be real. All he did was tell her that he got into school. He didn't tell her, oh, come on in. I have the means to support you. You can live with me and this, that, and third. She went out there with no plan, no job, no nothing. Okay. Anywho, I digress. But yeah, like she shouldn't have even been out there with no plan. So already her presence was already like, whoa, it was already a lot. Then, you know, she got dealing with Nana O. All her attention went on her. She stopped wanting to hang out with him, this, that, and third. When he told her, I want you to start being more independent, he didn't mean to go fall in love with somebody else and start putting all your attention on them and start ignoring me for her. That's not what he said, girl. Because everybody be like, oh, but as soon as she started doing her, he got upset. No, she wasn't doing her. She was minding Nana O's business. That's what she started doing. Anyway, point of the matter is, y'all, is that Nana K, she had a part to blame too, okay? Everybody was like, oh, Junko is victim shaming. It's like, no, she's not saying that. She's just trying to, you know, see from all points and all perspectives, right? And not everybody's always able to do that. I'm a sociology major. We were taught to do that, right? And it's not always a easy pill to swallow. Sometimes it's very hard situations where you're like, okay, let me calm down. Let me remove myself from the situation and see from all different perspectives. But not everybody's able to do that, especially when it's something as sensitive as that. So I just feel like it just wasn't the time for her to do that. But I get what she was like, yeah, but when is it a good time with Nana K? I guess. Because it, again, every time Junko like scolds Nana K or gives her the real, she may on the outside be like, oh, you're being so mean to me. But then we'll see in her mind, she'll be like, yeah, June is right. I am selfish. I am manipulative. I am this. I am that. So everybody hating on June, but she know her friend. And she knows she needs to hear this. And she knows deep down that Nana K knows that she's telling the truth too. Yeah, like nothing can ever make me hate you, June. Like, you just real. You real as hell. And I don't know. And it's funny, the fact that people be demonizing her, I be like, that's the same thing that they do to black women in real life. So that makes sense. It clocks out. Okay, we need to talk about this. Because not Rin talking about, oh, I really don't know the meaning of marriage. I just did it because I felt like I had to so that it would drive Yasu out of Nana O's heart. Excuse me? Like, excuse me? Because now it's given, okay, now it's making me question, like, it's a lot of possessiveness. That's a big thing in Nana, right? Feeling entitled to somebody, feeling like you own somebody, you know, being possessive of another person. Because you got Rin feeling possessive over Nana O. And this is why I feel like also why he was trying to get her pregnant. Okay. We see early on in the show and in the manga, he get mad that she's on birth control. Like he's, you know, we know he's hypersexual. But point of the matter is when he be mad that she be on birth control. He be wanting to get her pregnant so he could trap her. So that he could always be involved with her. She could never really leave him for real. And he even says, you know, I kind of want her to stop singing just so that she could just all be for me. And that's exactly what that would happen, right? If she got slowed down by a baby. And I'm just so glad that Nana O didn't fall for it, because early on in the show, it did seem like, Nana, you could have just, you know, went out with him, did this, did that. But I think she knew him. She knew her man. She was like, no, because all he want to do is impregnate me. He want to trap me. He want to slow me down. So no, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's so ugly. Like, you want to keep your career, okay? But you want her to slow down and just keep her all to yourself and keep her away from the world. Like, ugh, that's ugly. But I do remember him in the beginning of Nana being like, I wouldn't mind quitting my job and just finding an honest living, and we just live like that. So it's like he is willing to stop everything too and just live a quiet life with her. But that's not what she wants. So no, you're not gonna trap her. But again, like he said, I'm like a little boy, like I'm like a little kid. You know, he just wants what he wants. And this is, it's ugly though, because it's like, is this love or is this just possessiveness? And I'm starting to think that Nana O is caught on to this, and that's why she don't be messing with him low-key like that for real. And it's just like, I already understand, like, once he left, of course, that abandonment wound that Nana O had, it just ripped open, and she was just like, I don't think she could ever just be in love with him again after that. But she always gonna have love for him, if that makes sense. But I'm just like, this is not healthy at all. It's like, oh, I'm gonna trap you so you can't get with my homeboy. That's so ugly, bro. And even with Nana and Yasu, like, I'm starting to kind of low key feel bad for Yasu because she feel possessive over him. Like, Yasu, like, damn, okay, Rin already, I let him have Nana, whatever, right? I'm gonna respect the bro code. Nana be throwing herself at Yasu, seeing what he finna say, because deep down I feel like she loved Yasu because, you know, when Rin left, he stayed. And then also when she went to Tokyo, he changed stuff up and he went to Tokyo with her. And he was just there all throughout the way. I'm not gonna lie. He is, I mean, if she could be with anybody else other than Hachi, because again, I think Yasu and Nana would probably be the healthiest relationship that she can get. And I say that she can get because, let's be real, even her and Hachi, I don't think would be as healthy. They wouldn't. I don't think so. But Yasu, I just feel like he would level her out a little bit more, right? I just feel like it. Of course, they wouldn't be the best, wouldn't be as healthy. There would be definitely still some unhealthy aspects. But out of Rin, Yasu, and Nana K or Hachi, I think Yasu would be the one to level her out, if that makes sense. He's very consistent and he's stable, if that makes sense. But I feel bad because it's like, okay, he can't go on dates with other girls because Nana O get mad. And it's as if it's like they both know that they love each other. But it's like she said, if you don't want to betray Rin, then don't invade my heart. And he's like, okay, well then don't cry in front of me anymore because I can't help it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just let you cry? He like, nah, I'm going to hold you. Like, what? You know I love you. Like, what we finna do? But again, she feels possessive of him. And I'm like, okay, well, girl, if y'all not going to get together, then he needs to live his life, okay? Because his whole life is him babysitting you. Let's be real. And holding back. That's his whole life. And that's not fair. Okay? Like, something gotta give. But I feel like they also all know, or they both know, how unstable Rin is. Because as you can see from the last panels, like, Rin is not okay. And we know he doing drugs. And oh, child. And it's also because I know what's going to happen. I just don't know when. So every page that I read, I'm scared. I'm scared because I don't know how they finna do it. If they just gonna throw it at you, or is it gonna build up? I'm scared. So yeah, it's just a very sticky situation, but it's definitely adding layers to these relationships. We gonna talk about it after I get done with the whole manga, but I'm like, oh, the stuff that, you know, when you first see the show a long time ago that you think is cute is not cute at all. Like, it's not healthy. It's not cute. And I'm like, are you well? Are these people well? Like, Rin needs some therapy. They seem like they all need some therapy. Let's be real, right? But I'm like, Rin does not seem okay at all right now. Somebody check on Rin. Which I actually appreciate that Rayra has been checking on Rin. Even though I don't like Rayra and the whole Shin thing, or Sheen thing, I do like the fact that she be checking up on him. I do like that. Now, when it came to Rayra and Sheen, Nana K was on some weird stuff too. Nana K's whole thing at first was like, no, Sheen, you shouldn't be selling your body. And then she was like, oh my gosh, but I think her and Rayra, like, Sheen and Rayra really, like, love each other. So, like, we should just let them be together. Takumi, do something. Let them be together. Like, huh? And this goes to show, like, back to the conversation about with Fruits Basket with Toru's parents, right? Where I'm like, again, oh, is it bad if they both love each other, if they're both happy? And it's the same argument of, like, of course a child is going to feel happy in that kind of situation, or of course they're going to feel like they're in control or that they're in love because they were groomed. The older person in the situation is always going to be at fault because they're older. That frontal lobe is more developed, if not fully developed, compared to the child that they're messing with. And then, of course, we know, like, that older person effect where it's like when you're somebody younger and you're dating somebody older, or you're, you know, somebody older is looking at you in that way, you feel special. You feel me? Let alone if you got mommy issues, daddy issues, whatever type of trauma you got. So that person is more vulnerable, right, to being groomed. And that's what's happening with Sheen and Rayra. So that's why I'm like, the thing is, I know the argument of like, okay, well, what can Nana K really do, right? Like, all she can really say is don't do it. You know, he's his own person. But that's why I say, you know, I don't like the shift that Nana K did. Just because she's like, oh, but he was crying. I think they really love each other. We should just let them be together. Like, what? This is so cruel. She should have just stood on business. Like, no, you shouldn't be doing it. And I don't care who it is, you shouldn't be doing it. And I don't care if you feel like you love them, you shouldn't be doing it. But what I say is that with Nana O, and maybe even Yasu, because, you know, he holds some power too, a lot of power in the crew. I feel like they should have been like, no, if you're doing this, then the third, you can't do this. Because obviously, you know, you really want to be a part of the band. You can't be doing that if you're a part of the band. And of course, I know that they would be mainly thinking about the band, but at least be like, look, you can't be doing that. Like, excuse me, hello? But again, even with Takumi being the only one that's really saying something and not wanting this to happen, he's not saying it because of, you know, this is a grown woman dealing with a little boy. He's saying it because he doesn't want it to mess up anything for Trap Nest. So even so, I'm glad he said something, but it's still, nobody was concerned. Like, in that way. He was only concerned about her career, her reputation, their reputation, Trap Nest's reputation. Again, no justice for Sheen. Because again, he's a child. He don't know no better. Okay? He think this is a win. He think, okay, he doing his big one. Like, you feel me? He think he in love, this, that, and third. Like, he don't understand. He is a 16-year-old boy? Like, that's why Takumi was like, if you really love her, you'll just wait till you were 18 at least. Like, 16 years old, and you're dating, they had an 8-year age gap. So again, 16 years old, and Reira is 24 years old. Again, same thing like Toru Honda's parents, Fruits Basket. It's not okay. But of course there's that double standard because he's a boy. So, oh yeah, he knows what he's doing. Oh, he's more in control. And again, they romanticize it. Same thing how they romanticize, you know, all the other age gaps. And like I said, it's not like you can't love the characters or you can't enjoy the manga, because I'm enjoying it, honey. I am. I'm actually scared. I'm every page I'm going, I'm scared because I know some stuff that's going to happen. I know some stuff is going to happen. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I'm scared. And they keep on alluding to it too. So I'm just like, please, please. So I enjoy Nana, of course, but it's just like, again, I'm the type of person, I'm always going to call it for what it is. Because like, once you look at this stuff as an adult, you cannot unsee it. It's very hard. Me rewatching a lot of the anime and manga that I've read when I was a child or watched when I was a child, it's hard to not see it. And you're just like, oh my God. That's how you know that frontal lobe wasn't developed, honey, because I wasn't seeing this stuff at all. But yeah, all in all, I know some people are like, okay, well, what can they really do? You cannot allow that to fly. That's what you could do. You know, like, again, if you were Nana O or Yasu, would be like, okay, no, you can't be doing this. Simple. But I do remember Nana O saying that at one point, saying, like when she first found out that he was selling his body, talking about, you can't be doing that. That's going to mess up the reputation for the band, right? Like if you get caught. And again, no concern for him being a child necessarily. It was mainly for the reputation of the band. And it's like, again, I would have taken that if she would have just stood on business. Like, no, Sheen, like, if you're still doing this, you can't be a part of the band. Simple. And then when she found out he was doing it, you can't be a part of the band. We're going to find somebody else. You get me? And that, it's not going to change exactly what he does. Because behind the scenes, like, let's say he wasn't a part of the band. What's to say that he's not going to still do it? But it's just the fact that you're not allowing that behavior in your band. You get me? You're just not going to be allowing that stuff. You feel me? Same thing with smoking and drinking and doing all this stuff. Like, they shouldn't have allowed that. Been like, no, until you 18 or until you 21, you feel me? You're not allowed to do that. You could be a part of the band, but you're not allowed to do this, that, and the third. But really, let's be real. He shouldn't have been a part of the band. As soon as they found out that he was young as hell, they shouldn't have had him a part of the band, because that's the thing, you can't really control what people do. And the fact that you know you're going to be in these spaces, you should not have a child around. But again, like I said, that this happens in real life. All kids have to do is lie about their age, and they know that they be lying, but because they need this person or they want the help or whatever they want to get out of them, they let it slide. And that's why I say he's a perfect example of like what can happen to children in the industry. Same thing with Masato. Like, she changed her hair. She said she was 20 when she was really 17. They're not doing no background information. They really don't give a damn, right? And she's working for, I forget, she's acting as, she's now, where I am in the manga, she's acting as Blast's, their manager. But she's working under the dude who's also doing the corn, you know what I mean? Corn industry stuff. She should not be working with this dude at all. You feel me? But again, You trying to see what I'm saying? And the same thing they say with that one, Masato, the girls who are working, the corn workers, talking about, oh yeah, if she doesn't, work hard doing the manager stuff, he's gonna make her take her clothes off, and she's gonna earn her keep one way or another. And that's so normalized. And she's like, no, it's okay. I'm gonna work hard, so I don't gotta do that. But you see what I'm saying? Like, unacceptable. But this stuff happens in real life all the time. That's why I say I just wish there was more justice for Sheen. I love Sheen. I love his character. I empathize for him, because it's just like, he was hurting, and he had a big void he was trying to fill, and he was hoping that Rayra could fill that. And I'm on the part where, at least right now where I'm at, like, they had to end things, and he's hurting. He's definitely hurting, and I just feel bad, because it's like, you really shouldn't have been in that situation anyway to even have gotten hurt like that. So I'm just like, oh child. Like, yeah, Nana K getting groomed by that married man, Takashi, while she was in high school, literally changed her brain chemistry. And then let's not forget, ever since he left and, like, ended things with her, that's where she just started to blame all bad things that happened to her on this demon lord. Like, we have to really remember, Nana K was literally in high school, and this was a random ass man, married man at that, who saw her, started a conversation, and then showed up to her work one day, like, and just started sleeping with her. And this is what I be talking about, why I say, whenever a child is being groomed by an older person, the older person is always at fault, because they understand what they're doing. Because Nana K here, like, this is when Takashi ended things as he was moving to Tokyo. Nana K, she genuinely feels like she is in love with this man, okay? She doesn't see nothing for what it really is. And June is trying to say, like, girl, he just see you as a teeny bop. Like, you was damn near prostituting yourself. And Nana K was like, I never got any money from him. And she was like, oh, well, then you was just giving him a free ride then. And it's even showing, like, Nana K trying to become more desirable to him, like trying to sport hot dates or hot outfits on their dates and things like that to, like, appear hotter or older or whatever the case is. Like I said, she's a child. She don't know what's going on for real. But point of the matter is, when I say that this relationship that she had with this man changed her brain chemistry, also the breakup or him leaving her changed it as well. Like she said, her high school, like, journey started and ended with, like, love or trying to find love. Like, then she just kept on trying to fill the void with other people, like other guys. She then changed her whole personality around, like, it always revolved around men and the type of men she could potentially get, right? So if this guy was interested in art, she's doing art. If he's interested in movies, she's watching movies. And she's a movie fanatic. Like, she curated her whole personality around men. Like, she is so male-centered. And I think that's also what gets a little annoying with Nana K, is that she is so male-centered, it hurts. And then again, this is when she meets Takashi, and it's just like, this man had no business messing with this little girl. Again, him being her first too. Of course, she was gonna fall in love with this dude. Okay, like, absolutely not. Also, did y'all peep that in the beginning, Nana K looked just like Sachiko? She looked just like Sachiko, honey. Like, bro, what? I low-key forgot that she had, like, that her hair was hella short and she looked just like that girl. But anyway, point of the matter is, back to what I was saying about her brain chemistry was changing. She would literally, like, she was on campus when they went to art school looking for a boyfriend. Like, everything was so male-centered. To the point where, though, if y'all didn't catch this, okay, she was saying she didn't have, like, a single friend, a male friend, up until now, okay, once they met Shoji and Kyosuke. So saying that every boy that was, like, in her life was like a love interest, okay, so that's a big thing in itself. Because at that point, if you ain't never had no male friends, all your experiences with boys have been either sexual or romantic, you literally only see men as, like, romantic interests. Like, that's all they can be. Especially since your first relationship with this grown man, and that's all he used you for. Like, in the earlier panels I showed, she was literally saying, like, he would pick her up, Takashi, the married man who was grown and who groomed her, pick her up, and they would see each other a few times a month, and he would literally just drive her to a motel. Okay? Like, what? Like, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. Somebody's little girl. Think about that. Like, somebody's little girl is getting picked up after, I think, her shift. She was working at the restaurant. Like, What? Getting picked up by a married man and just being driven to a motel. What? And he's married. Think about it. Your husband. We don't even know if he had kids or not. Your husband. Okay, out late after work. He talking about he working late. And instead he's picking up a little girl to take to a hotel. That's disgusting, bro. And it's so sad because Nana K was again, it changed her brain chemistry. She was effed up over him. She just really was effed up, bro. And it's crazy because it's even later in the manga when we would expect her to be over it, she is not over it for real. That is that's a wound that is trying to be healed, but it just keeps being open. And I'm like, there's even June be like, girl, you still talking about that man? But it's everybody on the outside don't understand that single interaction or all those interactions with that grown man really shaped who Nana was and how her brain worked. And again, it really shows when her and Shoji in the same room. And she's like, Shoji, you're still a member of the male species and it might be dangerous for us to sleep in the same room. And he's like, hello. I am a member of the male species. Like, what? Because if y'all see right here, she was like, I have to think of men as humans. Like, girl, you're not even really thinking of them as human beings, as people that can be used for things other than sexual things and relationships and romantic stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Her brain chemistry was just completely changed. And like I said, we see this with Shoji when he's like, you're not really treating me like I'm a man. And that's what he was trying to tell her. Like when they were in the same room and things like that, she was like, but Shoji, I like you more than just a member of the male species. Like you're actually my friend. But he's like, but I'm still a man. It's as if she was trying to compartmentalize stuff. Like, no, okay, he's not just a member of the male species. I'm going to look at him as a friend. So therefore, he's not a man. He doesn't have those urges. He wouldn't be interested in me. He wouldn't be trying to do this, do that. It's like, no. And it's sad to see her still be kind of stuck in this child mentality and trying to navigate what men are to her. Because her first interaction, I don't know about with her father, but I would say really second interaction with this man, they took advantage of her. And that's what she viewed men as, other than her father. Let's take that out because we don't get that much background with that. I mean, for all we know, she came from a loving family, right? But the first man, we'll say Takashi, the married guy, took advantage of her and used her for her body. And she thought that's what love was. So she's trying to navigate, okay, so if I want men as friends, I have to separate that. It's sad. When you really think about it, it's sad. Instead of being like, okay, I can have a man as a friend, but I do still have to understand that he is a man. Okay, so I shouldn't be putting myself in these certain situations because he is still a man and he may be attracted to me. And I can't just be sleeping in a room with this guy. If you get me, if I don't want nothing to happen or put myself in danger, compared to being like, oh no, Shoji's not like that. Girl. And that's why he was getting pissed, because he was like, what do you mean? I'm still a guy. I still have urges. I still I have feelings as well. And you're just treating me like I'm just a replacement for Junko. And then it's really sad when Shoji's just like, you know what? Okay, let's just do it now, right? Let's just do it now. She's like, dang, you're not trying to be romantic at all. You should tell me you love me, right? He's like, why would I say that if I don't mean it? And she gets all butthurt, and it's just kind of like, girl. And again, even the fact that she was like, but no one ever said it to me since the day I was born. Okay, Takashi didn't even lie. And he was getting the draw. I was like, what? But that's what I'm saying. She was a child, so it makes sense. And then this is when we see that all he has to do is do something sweet in the moment. He never said he loved her. No, he didn't even lie. And I'm kind of glad he didn't lie, right? But just from him doing this, and this goes in with Nana K's thing of whoever's nicest to me at the time. Just from him doing that, she's like, oh, I heard it, Shoji. You do love me. Your heart told me. Oh, God. And that's probably how she was feeling with Takashi, the grown man. Oh, he never told me he loved me and this, that, and the third, but his actions are telling me. So yeah, I'm going to just give it to him. Oh my God. It's sad. It really is. But we need to talk about this because yes, this shaped her character. This shaped her personality. And it's one of the reasons why she's a little insufferable. I'm not going to lie. But it's like, is it her fault? Right? But so I don't think it's initially her fault, right? Because again, she was a child. She was a victim, right? But at some point, because Nana K is very self-aware. She knows her faults, her flaws and her faults. At some point, we have to take accountability and we have to change, okay? And that's one thing Nana K, she wasn't really doing at the pace that I wanted her to do. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'm ever going to get over how both the Nanas did Nobu in this situation. Because on one hand, you got Nana O getting mad at you for being safe and responsible. Talking about why are you so serious and honest? Like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, I ain't never knew anybody to get mad at somebody for being safe and responsible and honest and serious. Like, we're talking about a child right now. Why would I just be slanging it willy-nilly when I'm not trying to have a baby right now? Like, these are all young 20-year-olds. They're like 20. Like, what? And then you got her over here crashing out and crying when it's your girlfriend. You're the one going through this. But then you realize, oh, you're in love with my girlfriend. Well, shit. Everybody in love with my girl. Then you got Nana O talking about, well, why don't you just raise the baby? The fuck no. I think the hell not. Ain't no damn way I'm raising somebody else's baby like that. Especially that dude, baby. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This whole thing... Cut the cameras. I'm just putting myself in a situation because I couldn't believe it, bro. Because Nobu didn't deserve that heartbreak. And then he was being gaslit like he was the one in the wrong. I swear I would never forgive him for doing him like that because what are you talking about? I could be the father. Why would I want to be the father when you got the father right there? And then you got this dude talking to me crazy on the phone, talking about he gonna raise my baby. Now, Nobu better than me because I would have started going back and forth. I would have started running to the crib because you're not going to start talking to me like that. Absolutely not. And he's still confused like, okay, why the hell is Takumi even picking up my girlfriend? Why is he at the crib? Why she didn't tell me? What the hell was going on? Nana, why are you crying? Stop crying. And she be saying it like it's easy, like, oh, you can just be the father. We can get the money. Girl, that's a lifelong commitment, especially if it's not mine. Absolutely not. You're going to piss me off, girl. Like, for real, just stop talking. Just stop talking because everything's coming out your mouth is piss me off. And then she talking about, oh, that's just a plot. That's just a plot to control Hachi. You're trying to control Hachi, girl. You and Takumi is one and the same. Y'all besties at this point. You're using me to get to her. Because you don't want to have a girlfriend. Because you're oh, she about to piss me off. Because y'all could have just been together. Why didn't y'all just get together? Because now I'm in the middle. Now I'm getting my heart broke to pieces. Broke to pieces. I'm sorry I go hard for this because absolutely not. Think about if this was real. I be putting myself in the actual situation like if it's real. Like, y'all. What? Like, and like, look. Like, what's wrong with you, girl? Like, if you're gonna, look. Come on now, bro. You become the father. Right. I'm glad he told her. How about you become the father? Right. But you're just mad because you wouldn't be able to love her child. Right? Right? Exactly. Hush mode. Because she was pissing me off. Like, everybody around them knew what they were thinking and that they were in love with each other. Right? But they all just played along because, okay, whatever. They just gonna be best friends. Both the Nanas just gonna be best friends. But now when I start getting hurt, when the people around start getting hurt, now we're gonna come to you. Yeah. What? You raise the baby. You be the damn father. F this. And then on the other hand, he got Nana K not explaining a damn thing. Not explaining a damn thing. I will never forgive her for not explaining a damn thing. Imagine how confused and heartbroken he was in this motherfucking moment. And she don't say nothing except for, I'm so sorry. Excuse me? He's literally begging, pleading. Like he said, even if it's a lie. Even if it's a lie. And that's why a part of me is kind of glad she didn't even... A part of me is glad she didn't even say nothing. Even though she broke his heart to pieces, okay? He didn't need that drama. He didn't need that drama. Because Nana K is drama. she's a hot mess, bro. She is. She's a hot mess. Straight up. But it just sucks because it's like, in that moment, the bare minimum you could have did was just give him an explanation. All he wanted to know was you broke up with him, right? Because at least he could accept that, hey, this was something that happened before me and you started dating. So you didn't technically cheat on me. But, we just got together kind of fast. And before you knew, she couldn't even tell him that. She couldn't even tell him that, bro. And the main reason why she couldn't even say nothing, and the main reason why she also chose Takumi, like, damn near the next damn day, talking about they gonna get married, is because she was upset Nana didn't show up. Like, I already did a video on that, and I showed the panel on that earlier in the playlist. She talking about that was the reason why she chose Takumi, because he was being the nicest to me at the time, in that moment, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, he was, making sure he go to the store and go get this and be in there for her and blah, 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 whatever. And I like a whole nother video on Takumi, because it is confusing dealing with him. It is. Because he definitely does the push-pull method. He does. He be pushing and he be showing affection and doing this, doing that, and then he pull back. And then he SA you. Like, what the hell is going on? And that's why she'd be accepting that stuff too. But even though she knows what it is, because she was groomed too. She was groomed, and that's essentially what it was. You SAing a child. This grown man, married man, SAing a child, to where now, fast forward, okay? But still being like sweet and nice and doing this, doing that, and then taking advantage, having their way. And then she gets with Takumi, who does the same thing. But the only difference is this she's having this baby. He's famous, and he's providing, shelter and all this other stuff for her. But it's like she knows what he's doing, but she's still accepting it because of that. And that's why I made that other video talking about, being, groomed at a young age really changed our brain chemistry. But the point of the matter of this video is, I will never forgive how bad they did Nobu. I could not imagine, bro. I got pissed. You see how just thinking about that shit get me heated? It get me heated. Because I hate when people who don't deserve to get hurt like that get hurt. Because the least she could have did was give an explanation. That's all she had to do. You could still choose that dude, whatever. But at least let me know you wasn't just lying to my face and cheating on me. That's the least you could do. She didn't even do that. But I bet you if Nana O would have showed up, she would have been able to speak. Because that's the main reason she was upset and didn't want to say nothing. Because she was so heartbroken that Nana O didn't show. She says that herself. And I'm just like, girl, you ain't shit for real. I'm not gonna lie. Nana K ain't really shit. And it's just because her aesthetic, everybody just, she's looked like the victim. But it's like, no, bro. She ain't shit for real. But anyway, I just will never forget them. Yeah, Nana K and Takumi both know that they ain't shit for real. And that's also why they work. And what I mean by that is, just like how she said, Nana K was saying, I'm not as pure as Nana O thinks I am, and I'm not the girl, next door that Nobu thinks I am, right? Takumi understands, like, he knows the part of me that's empty, and that's the real her. And she knows that Takumi's a scoundrel. He a dog. And that's the real him. Is that all there is to him? And is that all that is there is to her? No. But they know them to the core. They know each other to the core, and they accept each other. Nana K feels that Takumi's the only one that truly understands her, because he knows that she ain't shit for real. Like, he knows she a hot as mess, but he accepts her and he still want to deal with her, and he takes the good with the bad. And that's why she's like my partner in crime, because she does the same thing with him. She knows he's not a great guy in that sense. Like, he's a cheater, okay? He's a player. He can take advantage of you, and he taking advantage of you and SAing you when he, feels whatever urge or he gets upset. She knows that too, but she still accepts him as well. Just like this scene when, he's there for her when they're waiting on Nobu and Nana O to come through after, they found out that she was pregnant. He reading her like a book. He like, look, you're a 20-year-old, you're a hot mess. You're pregnant. You sleep with guys whenever you're lonely. You can't keep a job. Like, he was just reading her to filth. But at the end of the day, you feel me? He was just like, at the end of the day, you're this child's mom. Okay? And nobody could ever take that from you. Like, you get me? And this is further along in the manga, but another reason why they also work is because Nana is so, like, unstable in the sense of like she lets her emotions get in the way of her thinking. Whereas with Takumi, he's very objective and he's very straightforward with what he is and what he wants and what he does. Like he doesn't try to hide that he's a scoundrel, that he's a dog, that he's a cheater. She said it before. I don't care how many girls he has, as long as I'm his number one. Basically the mentality of like, as long as he come home to me at the end of the day mentality type shit. And this shows up when, she's talking about, I don't want to talk about Nobu. I don't want to act like that whole situation happened. And I don't want to make fun of it or make light of the situation. And he's like, well, we can't just act like it didn't happen. So you're going to have to face the facts. Okay? Facts are facts. And then that's when Nana realized, oh, that's how Takumi is. He's very objective. Like, so that's why he kind of seems mean. But he's just objective. Like, he's always going to go off of the facts. And she's like, I think he'd be mean to me, but really he's just being very like honest. And he's always going to be like that. And I think that's why she was saying I feel secure with him, because when I'm floating off the ground, my head's in the clouds, he's always going to have his feet planted on the ground. And he's always going to say things for what they are, see things for what they are. And so while she's, floating, doing whatever she want to do in La La Land, like how she usually is, he's able to stay straight. It kind of reminds me of like the feminine energy, where it's like you're floating, you're in your creative energy, all that kind of stuff. And then the masculine energy that's more like disciplined, that's more strict, that's more straight. You get me, more structured. He's that structure that Nana needs. But they accept each other. So they have like an agreement. It's kind of like these, not an arranged marriage in a way, but actually it is, if you think about it. But like it's a transactional relationship. But like she said, he never wavers, right? And with Nana K, she wavers all the freaking time, right? Somebody could be nice to her and she's wavering. She's folding for sure. Somebody could be what she considers being mean to her, right? Even though they could just be being honest or whatever the case is. Or somebody could hurt her feelings in the moment and she's wavering. What she feels about them and thinks about them is completely changing because she's so, like, not saying that it's bad to be emotional, but I'll say she makes a lot of decisions off of her emotions. They're very emotion fueled and emotion based compared to Takumi, where he doesn't waver. He sees the facts as facts. He doesn't really let his emotions get in the way. I feel like where he lets his emotions get in the way that we saw is all the times that he, or both the times that he essayed Nana. Those are the times where I feel like he's let his emotions get in the way. Another time I think he let his emotions get in the way was when the whole thing with Nobu happened at the club and he poured that drink on him because he was talking about Nana K, like she was just another girl off the street. Okay. And then from there, that's when Takumi went to go visit Nana. He was not going to go visit Nana that night if that didn't even transpire. So I feel like he does stuff out of spite, yes. And it's really just because of his possessiveness and he wants to control the situation. And he doesn't want nobody else to have her. Just like how he said, instead of saying, I love you, Nana, it was more of like, I don't want, you're mine. I don't want anybody else to have you. It was more controlling and very selfish. But other than that, he's a really good businessman. Let's be real. He is. Let's be real. He's very attentive and very observant. And, like she said, he doesn't waver. So he really pays attention to all the facts. And he can, because he isn't emotional, he, can make really great business decisions. And let's be real. It does have to be a lot to have everything on your shoulders of Trapnest. Like, let's be real. Everything does kind of fall on Takumi. Especially anytime anybody does something wrong, like for example when Rin and Reira, and I won't say it's wrong for them to take a break and do this, that, and the third, but it's kind of like you guys don't understand the gravity of the situation, and you guys don't understand that you guys are celebrities, so the stuff that y'all are doing is going to affect all of us. Like, we are one band, one sound right now. We can't be doing our own little thing. And so when those pictures of Reira and Rin got out, that fell on Takumi. And now it affects him and his now family, right? And so it's stressful. It is. But he comes off as real cool, calm, and collected, but that has to be a lot on his mind. And I know it sometimes sucks to be like, oh, all he thinks about is work. But it's like, I mean, that's what they got going for themselves right now. And if he don't think about it, who gonna do it? If he's not on his stuff, Trapnest might not make it. So I don't like Takumi, but there is some complexity to him. He's not just a rapist. That's not all he is. But, that's kind of like saying, Griffith from Berserk only somebody who essayed Casca. It's like, no, there's a lot of complexity to his character as well, right? So, yeah. Don't get upset that I'm praising Takumi in that way of like just saying like, he is a good businessman. He is very smart, okay? And he is charismatic. Let's be real. He is charismatic. He knows when to turn it on and turn it off. But yeah, point of the matter is that's why they work though. And they're similar in the point of like accepting each other for who they are, even if they understand that they are not what everybody think that they are. You feel me? And it's sad because it's like, I be wanting to say that Nana K needs to find her somebody better, but I'm not going to lie. I feel like Takumi is the best that Nana K is going to get. And the reason why I say that is because she blew it with Nobu. And the reason why she will always blow it with people like Nobu is because they are too nice. And when I say too nice, it's like they don't see her for who she is. They're always thinking that she needs to be like protected in the sense of like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, she's just innocent. Oh, this, that, and the third. And that's why she will always end up probably breaking their heart and hurting them, the nice guys, right? Because she's going to end up fixating on somebody else, kind of like a Takumi or like a Nana O. And again, remember when she said, oh, Nana O, she was like, if you were a guy, you would be my type. And boom, then she gets with Takumi. And Takumi and Nana O share a lot of the same qualities. So that checks out. So it's like, I don't like the fact that he be essaying her. Let's be real. When he get upset, like, what the fuck? But at the same time, them having this like transactional relationship where he, at the end of the day, he is a provider. Let's be real. He is a provider. He gonna take care of his child. Okay. And he gonna take care of the mother of his child. Let's be real. I mean, you feel me? That's more than some people could say. And I just kind of think that for Nana K, that is kind of like the best situation. Because let's be real, she wasn't with Takumi. It's not like she was going to go get therapy and be single for a while. She was just going to keep repeating the same cycle and probably get pregnant by somebody else anyway, who probably didn't have money and wasn't trying to take care of the baby. So I do think that this was the best outcome for her, for somebody like her. Especially it's kind of like, hey, like a lot of these rappers and artists, their boos and stuff, they have the same type of relationship where it's transactional. They understand that they're going to be getting cheated on. It is what it is. But you're the one that they're okay being seen with in public and all that kind of stuff. It's a business, it's an arranged relationship. And I kind of think that was like the best thing for her. But yeah, they are similar in that way. They know what's going on. They know they're not innocent and they're totally okay with it. They accept each other. And I mean, I guess. And Nana O so full of shit. She is. Because when Nana K was like, maybe I should live here again. I don't know. And then Nana O talking about, then do it. Like, why don't you? Talking about, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you and your baby. I'll make some money. I was like, girl, you're full of shit. Because when it actually came down to it, what did you do? You ran away. You ran away just like your mom. Like, Nana O talk a good game, honey. But she cannot be trusted unless like you're fully hers and you allow yourself to be like controlled and possessed and okay by her. No. As soon as the going gets tough, where's she going? She's leaving. It just is what it is. And it's sad because even if she may not want to, she may not want to. Throughout this manga, we were seeing, especially in the beginning, her trying to fight these feelings of like, why can't I be there for Nana K? I'm really trying to just be a good friend and be there for Nana K. It's because you love that girl. That's why. And you can't take it. You love her. That is not your friend. That's not only your friend. That's what we'll say. Because you can be friends with your lovers. Or you can be friends with your crushes and people that you're in love with. But you're not just a friend. That's why it's hard for you to be there for her. You can't. So I was just like, girl, shut the hell up. Stop telling her and feeding her false dreams, okay? Just to get her like hopes up. Because you won't. All that stuff talking about, I'm going to get you a big house. I'm going to take care of you, Hachi. Oh, girl, go to hell. But speaking of running when stuff get hot in the kitchen, honey, Nana O's mama. Like, my heart did go out to Nana O when she was just like, when we found out, like, the mom was just literally like, I gave her up for that man. Like, I chose to be with that man. I gave up my daughter. And she was just like, I just couldn't sacrifice myself for my daughter. It just is what it is. And that's so, it's really sad, because that's like the sad truth of a lot of people's like family situations. Like, they just like, you know what, I'd rather be with my man. Y'all can have this. I don't, who this for? Because like, I'm not trying to, and that's crazy. And me being a new mom, I'm like, that's actually wild. I understand everybody be in different predicaments, this, that, and the third, but I thought it was going to be like we didn't have the funds, you know, I want her to have a better life, this, that, and third, but for her to just leave her to go be with this man is crazy. And then for her to have a daughter that ended up looking just like her, just like Nana, honey. And then for her to just live life out with these two other kids and you just being a mama to them is crazy to me. That's actually insane. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm kind of glad they made it realistic like that, of like, no, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. I ain't shit, you know? And I wasn't shit. And she's still not shit, right? Because she left her current family. As soon as the paparazzi started coming around and the truth came out, left a note saying, I'm so sorry, and just left. Excuse me? You ain't learned nothing. We didn't learn nothing out of all these years. You didn't grow nothing out of all these fucking years. Oh my God. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she ain't shit for real. And then can we talk about why the hell Masato, which is Nana's half sister, look just like her, honey, look just like her. But Masato talking about she in love with her brother. Oh God. I was like, here we go. Here we go. Okay? Like, what do you mean you're in love with your brother? Like, what do you mean? Don't piss me off right now. For real. Don't do that. Anyway, honey. It's funny because it would have been weird either way if she would have been like, oh, I'm in love with Nana. Because she was cosplaying as Nana this whole time. Little did she know that was her damn sister. But I would have been like, that would have been weird too. But at least she wouldn't have known that was her sister. But it would have been weird if she knew and then she still was like, oh, I like Nana. But for her to be like, I'm in love with my brother is crazy. Like, why did they throw that in there? Why was that? And the fact that the manga didn't even finish, so it's like we don't even, that just got thrown in there, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, this is just going to be there. Why? Why? For real. I need an ending. I need an ending. Like, she could just do an interview. If she's well enough, she could just do an interview and just tell us what the hell's going on. Just write down what happens. Don't even write it. Just say it. You know, like if you're well enough to speak, I don't even know if she is. I hope she is. Prayers out to her. But if the author is well enough to speak, I would just take that. You don't even gotta write nothing. There ain't gotta be no ink press, no nothing. No page printed, no nothing. I just want to know what the hell is going on. For real. That's all I want to know. There's just too many loose ends for me. But yeah, this whole little Masato, the brother thing, I was just like, why was that just a random Easter egg up in there? Like, what the hell? Also, I think it was crazy that Noble, he is spiritually in tune, honey, because every time somebody passes away, he hears something. Same thing happened when Nana O's grandmother passed away, and he was at the school, and it was as if the door opened or something like that, and he really thought somebody was there. Same thing when Rin, okay, it was like he heard, I think it was the guitar, and he was just like, what the heck? Like, clear as day. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so freaking crazy. Like, that was crazy, bro. Damn. Yeah, it's just too many loose ends, honey. And real quick, let's circle back to Takumi and Reira getting together. Because my thing is, if he sees Reira as like a sister, right? He sees her as something pure that needs to be protected, right? Like, she's like his little angel, something that, you know, he doesn't want to violate. You know, this is a long time ago. This is like in his backstory where he was like, I don't ever want to violate her. He even had thought of it when he was younger, like, you know, in her in a sexual way. He was just like, no, like, that's too weird. But years later, getting with her to kind of like shut her up. It was just, it reminded me of like, okay, shut up, damn. Like, just get back to business. If I do this, will you get back to business? Will you start singing and get your mind right? And it just, first of all, Him saying, would you really stoop to being just one of my ladies on the side? I feel like even him using that rhetoric of being like, you really gonna stoop down to this? Because I feel like he does put her on on a pedestal in the fact of like, in the sense of like, she's like an angel that needs to be protected. She's pure. She's this, she's that, right? And then he's like, you really gonna stoop down to being a side piece? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I guess. But it was really weird because I'm just like, okay, talk to me. What is going on with you to where you would even do all that? You feel me? Like, I get it, though. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to still look out for Trap Nest. Like, he's still trying to look out for Trap Nest. He's still trying to be like, okay, maybe if I get her stable, then maybe she'll get back to singing and she won't be acting like this. But I'm talking about, like, mentally, what did that do for you to violate? And I'm going to say violate because y'all didn't just consensually do all of that, right? And I'm not talking about just the kissing and stuff. I'm talking about what happened next, because afterward, she was saying you worded her. And we know how Takumi gets down, right? Especially when Takumi gets frustrated. When he's frustrated, he's not thinking straight, he feels like he's losing control. He can't get her to do what he wants her to do no more because she's refusing, right? She's refusing to sing. She's refusing to, just follow orders, and just everything needs to go smooth. Her and Ren are just doing what they want to do. He's getting frustrated, and we know how Takumi gets when he's frustrated. He can be very scary. It's not justified at all, but it's just like, that's how he is. You do not want to get involved with this dude for real in that way. But she don't know that. She ain't never saw that side of him, right? But I'm like, Takumi, what did that do to you for you to not only like violate her, not only violate another woman, but you're violating somebody who you view as your sister? And again, for her to say that you worded her, it had to have been something similar to what Nana K went through with you. To where at some point she probably was saying stop or no or wait. Because again, in his backstory, when we saw him doing stuff in high school or middle school with this girl, she was talking about wait. And he was like, no, we ain't doing no wait. I know you want this. And he just kept going. So it's just like, ew, bro. And how traumatizing that had to be for her. For her knight in shining armor to do that to her. Like, I could only imagine. Like, she's just, child. And it ain't no going back after that. You feel me? It ain't no going back. Like, you could tell he was disheveled too after that, because he thought that was going to fix things, and it actually just made things worse. So yeah, I really do want to see like how things happened after that, after even Rin. Like, how did people's relationships,